We're back with Hamilton Mayor Andrea Horvath, who spent her adult life dedicated to serving as a city councilor, as an MPP, leader of the official opposition and provincial New Democrat Party, and now as the mayor of the city of Hamilton, spearheading an urban renewal not seen in generations. Mayor Horvath, you mentioned just before the break that the area around the Great Lakes represents, did you say 6 trillion in economic growth and spending?
Yes, absolutely. It's an economy that is pegged at about $6 trillion American, which is $8 trillion, a little bit more Canadian. That number changes, of course, as our dollars doing what it's doing these days. But the fact of the matter is, it reflects how intertwined our economies are, United States and Canada. The supply chain is robust. There are products that start off or there are products that start off in Canada. They go to the United States. There's something else that happens to them there. They come back to Canada. They travel back and forth, sometimes up to 6 or 8 times, and only to end up then again with the final customer in Canada or in the United States. So the 8 Great Lakes states are going to feel the same pain as we're going to feel in Canada, in Ontario, particularly in Quebec, if this tariff war continues to grow. And the longer it lasts, the more pain American families, American workers, American companies, American communities are going to feel, as are Hamilton and all of our communities as well.
You were just down in DC. Did you find any allies down in Washington?
Oh, there's no doubt. There's an organization called the Great Lakes St. Lawrence Seaway Cities Initiative. And so this organization has been ongoing for decades now. And every year we go to the United States, to Washington, to talk about the health environmentally of the Great Lakes and the economic importance of the Great Lakes. Just so happened that the tariff
Right.
situation arose at the same time as this conference took place. So we went in tandem, the American mayors and the Canadian mayors, to talk about the Great Lakes writ large, but also to really talk about the tariffs. And the good thing to know is that this organization, a joint organization, American, Canadian mayors, put a very strong statement out, a resolution, if you will, identifying how wrong the tariffs are and how
Wow.
much damage they're going to do. So we used that opportunity to then have those mayors and ourselves talk to representatives in those states to help continue to create the understanding of the damage that's already being done.
Boy, Hamiltonians, thank you for that. Sometimes when you watch the news, you don't realize what's happening behind the scenes. That's very important. It reminds me back in 2009, 2010, when America called for Buy America in the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. And all of a sudden, Canadian firms couldn't ship into the United States because of that. And there was a real great effort to try and turn that around. I remember Mayor Vic Fideli at the time, North Bay, sent a letter to every one of the companies that he bought product from in the United States, asking them for help, because he said to them, look, if you can't buy products from North Bay, I will not be able to buy your fire trucks from Cortland, New York, for example. And I thought that was a very brilliant strategy, and it was really effective in getting Canada an exemption to Buy America back then. So thank you so much for what you're doing on that front. Tell me, what can we do to make Hamilton more robust, more versatile, and a magnet for talent, so that we can weather some of the storm?
Well, in some ways, we have a bit of a leg up already, Ves, which you might know. We have two universities and a college that turn out amazing minds, to be honest with you. And so we need to make sure that that talent stays here. So we're trying to do that work in collaboration with our economic development department, the post-secondary institutions. We are, as I had said earlier, we're diversifying our economy in a major way. Well, it's about the affordability as well, and that's another issue I think we need to talk about. We want people to stay, but to get them to stay, we need to make sure that they can afford to stay, that they can have a place to call home here, that they can build a good life here. And I think we are doing many of those things, but we could certainly use some help from the other orders of government in that regard. And one thing, I think we'll talk a little bit more about this perhaps, but one thing that I've heard from the business community in this context with the tariffs is that all of the resources that are being brought in through retaliatory tariffs need to go back to the business community to help them survive.
Hold that thought, and we'll be right back after the break.